The Ranveer Show Clips, India's smartest podcast highlights channel. Subscribe and hit that bell icon. While we haven't touched upon those topics in this episode, and I know that it's not your intention in life, like after talking to you, I've come to know that you're someone who chases knowledge, who chases that next level of growth. Money is an outcome of growth. Getting financially stable is an outcome of growth, of learning more. So is it fair to say that the army equipped you as a man to be much more financially stable than you would have been if you had chosen another path earlier in life, or rich compared to some
So
other?
again, I mean, rich is a state of mind.
Yeah.
Rich is a state of mind.
While I understand that,
And so let me put it this way. I think not just the army. And again, I want to qualify this answer. It's not true for the army. It's true for all government servants. It's true for all who exist on what many corporate counterparts would say, man, 50,000 bucks, how can you manage? It teaches you that 50,000 rupees a month is more than enough if you want to be happy about it, right? And 50 million is not enough if you're not happy about it. So all government services, I must say, they teach that the real wealth is the education of the children, the value systems that you have put in place. And matter of fact, more often than not, I've seen more wealth actually destroying things. It's an irony that I was talking about it to someone just recently, that when we were young, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, there used to be one TV in a house and people used to come from many, many different houses to come and watch the Sunday film. I still remember when we got a TV in a house in Green Park, we had some family friends who would ride in a scooter all the way from Narayana. Now, you don't know Delhi, so they are not very near each other. Of course, those days there was no traffic and all that. But it was a ritual that family would come to our house to watch that Sunday film. It's not to watch the film. It's to... Most of the films were crappy those days anyway. It was much more for that bonding, that lunch, dinner hoga saath mein, ye, wo, phir raat ko they'll go back. This and nahi, aaj idhar hi ruk jao, nahi, tomorrow school, this, that and all. That bonding today, in one house, in 4 rooms, there are 4 screens. But the whole intent of having a common entertainment, which you would all sit around and bond. Now, I'll explain what that means. Let's say you and I are watching a same episode. Your reaction on that will tell me what you are, right? Let's say, I'm using a controversial example deliberately. Let's say somebody watches Thappad together. And one person says, "Theek hi to hai yaar, what's the big deal in that?" You know more about that person's thinking. I'm not saying right or wrong, but you know more about that person's thinking. But if he's watching Thappad in one room, you're watching Thappad in another room, you never get that interaction. So actually, plentitude of material assets usually results in poverty of emotion.
emotional isolation.
Whatever you want to call it. But it usually results in that. So you may own, this guy, Brad Pitt said it very well in Fight Club, that things that you own
Actually own you.
end up owning you. And I think the sooner that realization comes, it came late to me. It does come late to people. But I think it did come in time for me to take a call that, okay, that's why I left the corporate life to say that, this is it. I mean, I can continue. And I was working for one of the most fastly growing organizations in India, as you're aware.
Which is the hot topic of the next episode.
Yeah, so it was growing, and there was, and I had great bosses and a great, so there was no reason to leave except to say that there is something that you need to have which will make you truly rich, and that something is enough. Enough. I think the lesson of enough, ho gaya, bahut hai, itna bahut hai. That is a very important lesson for everybody to, sort of learn. Some people learn it early, some people learn it late, some people never learn it. And they continue to chase objectives and all of that, or, material wealth. Actually, it's not even, I think beyond a point, it's not even material wealth, because I'm just thinking that a CEO who makes 2 crores, if he starts making 3 crores, will his life really change? Right? Is the food he's going to eat change? The place where he's not going to change. What is happening is, relatively, he feels that I'm now become a bigger person than I was before because I'm being paid more. But is that true? Is that really true? If what you were doing earlier and what you're doing now is exactly this. So somebody asked me, I was 54 when I left Reliance last year. And someone asked me this, that, "Hey, come on, this," which is true, that many people, many HR, colleagues will also tell you this, that the peak earning capability of an individual in a corporate is between the age of 48 to 55. That's the peak, because now you have amassed your knowledge, built your contacts, done your this thing, and this is the time when you should be actually taking a premium on that. And they asked me, why have you left at this point of time? I said, but this is the time when if I want to go on a bike ride, I can go. If I want to just say, okay, fine, I want to ride to Leh tomorrow, not now, COVID, but I can do that. So this is the time that whatever little I have got, I'll be able to spend it. If I continue working for another 10 years, let's say I amass more wealth or whatever and all, somebody else is going to spend it. It's not going to be me. So why would I not look at the time I have as the most valuable resource? This is an exercise which someone taught me actually, and it's a good thing for you to do. You should do it. All the listeners should do it also. You should buy some marbles. You can use marbles, or marbles are good. Kancha hota hai na? Like that. Get about 100 of them or 200 of them. Put them in a jar. 52 of them represent 1 year. 52 weekends in a year. Right? 10 years means 520. Every weekend, take out one and throw it away. When you see the jar reducing, is the first time you'll realize that the sand, what is it? Sand clock, whatever it's called, that hourglass clock. The hourglass clock sand is running out. And it's very important at your age, because you think you're going to live forever. Actually, I thought I was going to live forever when I was 27. I didn't really, there's a sense of immortality and all of that stuff. So it's very important to start understanding that the most valuable resource we are left with is the time that we have with us. Time that is left for us. And you may acquire more material, but if you are not able to, then it's only a acquisition knowledge. It's, oh yeah, I've got this also, I've got that also, but it's really not something that you are going to be, actually being able to enjoy or use. Some people are, they get their mojo by chasing it, which is fine. It's a fair point. A guy might say, my mojo is chasing. My mojo is not really, I made few crores more, but the fact that I was chasing it. I think that's a very myopic way of looking at one aspect of life, which is just the material money.